We're getting back into the Reiner gruesome double murder and the son's involvement. New surveillance video shows Nick Reiner before his arrest.
Tragedy at this point. The newly released footage shows him in a gas station convenience store just hours after the killings and minutes before he was taken into custody. He is now charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of his parents, just to say those words. Jonathan Bigliotti is in Los Angeles for us once again. He's been on the story for several days now. Jonathan, good morning.
And Tony, good morning to you. Nick.
Apparently, a lot of kick streamers have been all over the Reiner home as well. With like I saw videos of like a line of media, mainstream media and local news sources outside of the house, doing interviews and things like that. Doing real-time coverage, and then they're surrounded by a bunch of fucking troll live streamers.
Reiner is being held here
because we live in hell. Yes. Here it is. Ghoulish influencers ignite chaos outside of Rob Reiner's home just hours after horror discovery. A quiet Brentwood block turned into a live stream circus in the hours after Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle were allegedly murdered inside their mansion by their own son, with social media influencers causing headaches for both neighbors and cops. While reporting from Reiner's home, the Post observed 2 men drive up to the active crime scene in a black Tesla and immediately create chaos on Monday morning. At least one of the men appeared to be live streaming from the vehicle parked right side of Reiner's home while officers stood nearby. Almost immediately, they began shouting to their followers and pumping loud music while live streaming. The flashpoint came when LAPD officers ordered one of the influencers to turn the music down. Someone just died, though, the influencer said as police moved in. We just want to keep the peace, he added, accusing the other media at the scene of exploiting the tragedy. We want to give it up to these guys. They're all trying to profit off the man that died, the streamer stated. Officers repeated the order to turn the music down. Just keep it down, okay? That's all we want legally, an officer said. Influencer wearing a gold crown stands amid reporters. I think you all know what that influencer's background is. If you see the gold Burger King crown for the right-wingers on the internet, that's a signal to the famous. That's a signal to the famous plane incident, the airplane incident where the guy was saying the N-word while wearing a Burger King crown and had a mask, a chin diaper under his chin. Here's the video of the situation.
Hi. How you doing? Not well. Yeah. Gentleman over here was threatening me.
Yeah, there's a lot. He said, she said, he said a lot of.
I have everything on stream. I have thousands of viewers. I'll show you my footage. Okay. The guy tried to grope me. I have autism. I'm sitting here minding my own business. Guy kept grabbing me inappropriately, and I'm uncomfortable. I want to press charges. I want to press charges. Yes.
Let's go down there and watch it. Yeah, let's watch it over.
I'm gonna leave my stream here.
That's fine. Please, we'll just go to the end.
I'm leaving my stream here.
So we can see it, but it's a little bit quiet.
Gentleman over here is making threats towards me. My stuff was molested. I stand. I'm standing on what I believe in. For my in the chat.
We're in such a weird place on the one hand, like the media circus that's outside of this house is already weird enough as it is. And on the other hand, these guys are like very obviously there to boost their own personal profiles. Like at least the media circus outside is there doing a job, right? A job for local news. There's a heightened attention around this incident. Yes, the dude is dropping M-bombs is white. Audio chatter here. Dude dropping M-bombs is white, right? Yes, that's why he's wearing the Burger King hat. This is all just kick streamers now? Yeah, pretty much. And I think, I don't know how to describe it, but like the more nihilistic people become, the more they, like the more the meta basically turns into put yourself out there and do some heinous shit that other people would normally consider to be socially maladaptive behavior. And because there's no real check here beyond like social stigma, and that the only currency that matters is clout, people do this kind of stuff, and they get a lot of praise on the internet for doing this kind of stuff. Not only do they get a lot of praise on the internet for doing this kind of stuff, but they also get money for doing this kind of stuff. I don't really know how to deal with this. I don't.
He touched my property, and he's invading my creative bubble.
Can you guys step back over there, please? Thank you.
I don't pay a lot of money to do.
I think ignoring them is best. I know, but the reality of the matter is, us ignoring these guys doesn't change the reality that there's a market for it, right? Like there is these are basically like morbid merchants of despair. They put themselves in these situations where like other people are basically egging them on in the chat to do more and more like weird shit. And even if you ignore them when you're there, there's obviously a market for it where they're like, oh, push the needle further. Push the needle further. Be more insane. Be more unhinged. Does this not seem like the eventual outcome of streamers willing to do anything for views in the paparazzi aspect? Yes, for sure. He repeatedly claimed he was a minor, though he appeared to be in his 20s. He stood in front of the home wearing a black sweatshirt top with a gold Burger King crown planted in the middle of a tight swarm of reporters and camera crews. He repeatedly accused members of the media of assaulting him. He touched my property. N-word, I'm standing on what I believe in is for my N-words in the chat, he said, before repeating he touched my property and is invading my creative bubble. No arrests were immediately announced in the connection with the disturbance. The disorder unfolded against the backdrop of a horrifying crime. Rob 78, Michelle 70 were found at their homes with their throats slashed around 3:30 p.m. Sunday, TMZ reported. Rob Reiner's troubled son, Nick Reiner, has been charged with the fatal stabbings, authorities said on Monday. Nick Reiner, 32, who has spent the years battling drug addiction and cycling in and out of rehab, is in custody. He was detained around 9:15 p.m. Sunday. Reiner's daughter, Romy, discovered the bodies around 3:30 p.m. and told police she believed the family member should be the suspect, TMZ reported. She allegedly described the relative as dangerous, according to the report. Nick Reiner has previously spoken publicly about his struggles with addiction, homelessness, and instability. Yeah. Anyway, here is the new surveillance video showing Nick Reiner before his arrest.
This jail in downtown Los Angeles without bail. He is undergoing what we are told are routine medical clearances. He could make his first appearance in court for arraignment as early as today.
New security video shows Nick Reiner in a striped shirt pacing inside a convenience store shortly before his arrest Sunday night. Outside the store, you see the LAPD arriving and arresting him. Police say he did not resist. Prosecutors allege the 32-year-old used a knife to fatally stab his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner, in their Brentwood home. Nick Reiner is now facing 2 first-degree murder charges.
These charges carry a maximum sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole or the death penalty.
It's still unclear when the alleged attack occurred and how long the couple had been dead before their bodies were discovered. The New York Times reports a massage therapist arrived at the Reiner home on Sunday. When nobody came to the gate, she called the couple's daughter, Romy, who arrived and found her father's body.
That's so
the day
devastating.
before the murders, Rob and Nick Reiner got into an argument at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party. NBC News reports Nick interrupted former SNL comedian Bill Hader before storming off. Nick Reiner has been open about his struggles with addiction, recalling on a 2018 podcast one incident where he became violent while on drugs.
And I was up for days on end, and I started punching out different things in my guest house. I think I started with the TV, and then I went over to the lamp. Everything in the guest house got wrecked.
While promoting the film he made with his father, Nick Reiner said he was grateful for his parents.
Well, I think I'm lucky in the sense that I have parents that care about me, and because of that, when I would go out and do drugs and stuff like that, I'd feel a tremendous amount of guilt.
And close friends of Rob Reiner, including Billy Crystal and Larry David, put out a joint statement yesterday to the Associated Press, writing in part, and I quote here, Rob Reiner not only was a great comic actor, he became a master storyteller. His greatest gift was freedom. If you had an idea, he listened. He brought you into the process. To be in his hands as a filmmaker was a privilege, but that is only part of his legacy. As far as his son goes, he is represented by Alan Jackson. He is a high-profile defense attorney. Prior clients include Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey. Gail, we reached out for comment. We have not heard back.
The more you hear, Jonathan, the worse it gets. It's heartbreaking. I think Tony said it best when he said it is a family tragedy. Jonathan, we thank you, and there's more to come, I'm sure. Thanks.
Counsel, how would you like to proceed today? Your Honor, if we could, I would like to ask for a continuance of the arraignment. I want to complete this juncture. It's too early. We've coordinated with counsel from the DA's office, and January 7th, with the court's permission, will be a convenient date for us to come back for potential hearing. There are very, very complex and serious issues that are associated with this case. These need to be thoroughly but very carefully dealt with and examined and looked at and analyzed. And we ask that during this process you allow the system to move forward in the way that it was designed to move forward, not with a rush to judgment, not with jumping to conclusions, but with restraint and with dignity and with the respect that this system and this process deserves and that the family deserves.
1 week after the U.S. seized an...
All right. Yeah. This just can be used further to demonize people suffering with substance use disorder too. Seems like it's just validating Brian kill me ideology. I mean, I think there's already plenty of that stuff. You guys call him a loser, dick, etc. Obviously, he committed a heinous, unforgivable act, but he was very clearly, especially a tragic victim of addiction and awful mental health. Yeah, I mean, he also did slit the throats of both of his parents. So it's a complex story because obviously, on the one hand, it shows that having basically all the resources on the planet is sometimes still not enough to combat something such as addiction. Addiction in and of itself does not imply that you're going to become a violent murderer of your parents, for the record. But even when you have supportive family members, even when you have all the money in the world, it's still not enough. We don't know if his addiction played a role in this, obviously. But the reason why people are suspecting that is because he could have relapsed or had some significant mental health complications in the process, because this act of violence is so heinous in and of itself that, you know, there's a reason why people are people are scrutinizing that aspect of his background. Are we going to talk about the conspiracy theory of Rob Reiner doing a doc on Trump and Russia and that's why he dies? No, we're not going to talk about that because I don't think that is as relevant in this story. Low-key, I tend to think you have mostly good takes, and I think the way you are talking about this issue and you've done before with substance use and mental health isn't helpful and comes off voyeuristic. Okay, we don't have enough evidence at this point about anything beyond the fact that this dude allegedly slit the throats of both of his parents. Okay, I mean, I think that act alone is pretty wild. It's pretty crazy, and when you hear something like that, it's understandable that people's first suspicion would be a mental health episode, because the other side of that speculation would be that he was mentally clear in that moment and that he was just like looking for the most opportune time to slit the throats of his parents, both of his parents, in their Brentwood home. Like, he planned it out. He had complete mental clarity. And in order for that theory to work, you have to expand on that theory and add on a million different things. Like, was this revenge? What did the parents do that invited this kind of revenge, considering that this is a deeply personal type of murder? It's not like, it's more personal than using a gun. Okay. I think that's the reason why people are assuming that is the likely motive here, or the likely reason here. Anyway, people are always so quick to judge and point the finger. This is obviously a heinous act, but we don't know all the details. I understand. People are brain broken from Netflix Crime Slop and the Menendez brothers. Yeah. I mean, yeah, 20-year history of drug addiction, homelessness, and the mental health complications that come along with that is going to play a role in profiling a suspect. I think it's understandable, especially when, in the absence of additional details, and when there's not more information, people are going to assume that played a role in this. It doesn't mean that everyone with mental health problems or anyone who has suffered from addiction is going to go and slit the throats of their parents at all. But it's understandable why people would assume that played a role in this. Okay?